Welcome, heathens and witches, to the Horn
and Cauldron
podcast pub chat edition because of the presence of pub, obviously.
Yes.
I'm John Norgrove. This is Julie Norgrove. This is your whenever it arrives witchy podcast.
That's right.
It arrives precisely when it intends to, like all good wizards. So
yeah,
you're welcome for that knowledge. You're now a little bit late to work, but it's on purpose, guys. Don't even worry about it. Anywho, pub chat edition, where we just sort of riff off the cuff on a subject of our choosing, or as suggested by our patrons. Plug our Patreon. Shout out to being a patron. They're the best, and you can be too.
Yep.
So this time, okay, so we for sure didn't think about this as a great idea, and then forget about it, and then remember it, and then forget about it again, and then remember it again. Probably. But
don't look too closely into the light.
During the month of October, it's oops only spooky, right? So we only watch spooky movies, we only read spooky books.
Yeah.
So in the process of doing that this year, we had gone through and we had chosen some books or whatever the heck. You read some classics, we both returned to World War Z.
Yeah.
Which is honestly a once a year book for me at this point in time. It's so good.
It's usually the first scary book we read in October.
It is. Yeah, it's generally the first book of October. Even though World War Z is not a scary book. I mean, the things it says are pretty shockingly realistic, from economic, philosophical, and governmental basis. But it's a little weird right now. But yeah, so we did some classics, but we also did some new boys.
Yeah.
Right? And so one of the books that we read, it's called My Best Friend's Ghost Removal. What are those called?
Exorcism.
Exorcisms.
Yeah, the book is My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix.
Circumcision.
We stumbled across this book. We are not being paid or compensated in any way for this.
No. We just found this book on using our credits for the audiobook service that we're all somehow upsettingly tied to. Although if they wanna pay us, how you doing?
Yeah, we would accept.
We would accept sponsorship. So we were just scrolling through the list trying to use credits, and we found this book randomly, and we're like, okay, this sounds hecka interesting. So we started listening to it.
Yeah.
And pretty much immediately fell in love with this book.
Yeah.
Highly recommend.
Devoured this book. I
listened
to it in 2 days. And normally I only listen to books when I'm driving to and from work, which is it usually takes a couple of weeks.
Yeah. But for this one, you got through it super fast.
Yeah.
It was super interesting, good story and all that. And we'll kind of get throughout this conversation, we're gonna have a little bit of a book review about it. But suffice it to say, at a certain point in time in this book, and we're gonna try and be spoiler free.
There's no way that we can really be spoiler free with the stuff that we're going to
We'll do reduced spoilers.
Yeah.
You know how sometimes you get reduced fat in a product, but it's like reduced fat cheese. That's just shitty cheese.
I don't think that we could even 2% milk this.
I feel like we could maybe.
Nope, because we're going to talk about the thing that happens at the end. The climax of the book.
Yeah.
So
I guess we do have to full spoils.
So
hey, listen, this milk has gone full rot. So okay, so we're gonna cover our one sentence review on this book, and then we're gonna talk about the thing that we want to talk about, and through that we'll have larger book-based discussion. So that's what we're gonna do. So if you haven't read this book and you're very concerned about spoilers for an audio book,
that's not brand new.
That's not brand new in any way, shape, or form. Spoiler-free review, absolutely worth it, especially for the Gen X millennial crowd.
Yeah, so this was a big nostalgia kind of book, and it was fun and funny and kind of tongue-in-cheeky. You're getting late 80s kind of nostalgia in it with the setting, and also it's it has to do with teen girls. So for me, I had a babysitter when I was younger that was 4 or 5 years older than me, and she would have basically been the same age as the girls in characters in this book.
Yeah.
When the book is happening, right?
Yeah.
And it like really hit a lot of like wonderful nostalgia notes for me.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of it's a very a very it's a very temporally referential book.
Yeah.
Like the book exists heavily in the 80s. It does exist a little bit in that hyper 80s that like we all know and love from like the TVs and stuff like that. But it does it in such a way where
wanky. No, that it does that.
It specifically uses the 80s to like frame time.
Yeah.
And like technology and like how people are interacting with the situation that's occurring, which is based on the title of this book, My Best Friend's Exorcism.
Yeah, and it's also this was also a really great story about female friendship, written in a way that was like not giving you the will they won't they of are they actually going to just make out, and it wasn't giving you like
not even a little
this
bit.
Weird superficial way that like people think that women have friendships.
It wasn't like sassy
right?
about it
wasn't
or anything.
Sassy,
yeah.
but it also wasn't like too girl bossy about it.
Yeah.
This felt like really genuine and real, and this hit me in the feels in a very specific way. And I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna listen to this book like once a year.
Yeah.
Like that's how wonderful this book was for me. And I would very much love to see it like
it would be
adapted.
Let me tell you what. If you stumbled across this podcast and you are an executive or work with executives for any of the streaming services that we all know and love, and or a production studio for like a proper movie, right? Like a full theater release movie.
Yeah.
Fucking do this book.
Yeah.
Let me tell you right now. Having just watched the live action Moana trailer, so you have like a very set moment in time. This shit dropped like earlier today or maybe a couple of days ago.
Awful. Oh my god.
Why are you making some shit that already exists? Like we've already got Moana. You already did Fetch. Don't try and do Fetch again.
Yeah.
Especially when there's no like delta. There's no change.
Yeah.
It's just like, what if we just 1-to-1 turned a cartoon into a real movie? It feels crazy. Right? I'm not specifically trying to call like them out.
Also, do more movies and less shows.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. More movies, less shows. And shows should be like 24 episodes, not 8 episodes. Listen, I've got a lot of problems with the way that the system's currently running at this point. But the reason why I kind of went off that tangent about bloody live action remakes and such like that is that there are so many absolute fucking banger stories out there that you could purchase the rights to. I can't imagine studios pay fucking bajillion dollars to purchase the rights to turn a book into a movie.
I can't imagine they do.
And also, this, like, listening to this book, you could do this book in, like, a $5 million range.
Easy.
Yeah. You could do it in, like 5. Honestly, if you have, like, a good team, you could probably do it for fucking 3, dog. I'm gonna be, like, real with you here.
Yeah.
You would probably do it for, like, fucking 3. And you would make a ton of fucking return. This would be, like, such a classic.
Yeah.
If it was done right. Like, there's so many good books out there that can be turned into stuff. And, like, absolute fucking shout out about this book. This would make a fucking killer, family-friendly...
Sorta.
Like, it's PG-13.
PG-13 for sure, yeah.
Honestly, maybe even PG.
Maybe, yeah.
You know? If you pull out, like, a few, like, gross lines.
Yeah.
That's it. You know what I mean? But like this is like an easy PG-13 movie.
Yeah.
That would absolutely slaughter in the box office. It's so good.
Yeah, this book was really, really fantastic.
It was so fun.
And we really loved it. And as soon as I was done, I was like, I have to scream from the mountaintops about how great this book was.
Yeah.
And how very deeply this affected me. Like, you know.
Especially right now when millennials and Gen Xers are in this like absolute hype train for fucking flashback times.
Yeah.
Like, give us this 80s, like, banger.
Yeah. You know? About, like, friends that are also girls.
Yeah, honestly, the most expensive part of the movie is going to be the rights to the music.
Probably. Oh,
but
music plays a huge part of this.
But, it's all fucking 80s music.
Yeah.
It's just not that expensive,
This
dog.
isn't a spoiler, but the thing that I'm telling you is... would sort of be a spoiler. Each chapter in this book is the title of a popular song from the 80s.
Yeah.
And I went ahead and made a playlist of all of the songs.
Of the chapter songs, really?
Yeah, there are.
Oh, that's dope. So I didn't even know about this.
Other songs that are in the book that are referenced, but I didn't include those here. This is just the chapters.
This is just chapter playlist.
Yeah, just a chapter playlist.
Nice.
So, like...
Nice. Where did you make this playlist?
It's on YouTube
Music?
and it'll be in the description.
Yeah, I'll link it in the
we'll
description.
Link that,
yeah.
and it's pretty fun. It's like a real, like bangers. There's actually a couple of songs that I didn't recognize.
Really?
Either. I was like, oh, that's really surprising. There was a few songs that were like...
I'm trying to think if any of the chapter names I didn't recognize. I think I recognized all of them. So I'll have to, when I drive to work tomorrow, I'll have to I'll have to listen to that playlist. Because I'm done with the book.
Yeah, and if I am correct, it's like 38. This is a beefy playlist.
Nice.
And has everything from like Don't You Forget About Me to Jenny, 8675309, to Like a Prayer, and Parents Just Don't Understand from DJ Jazzy Jive.
Absolute banger selection already. I'm very jazzed about this.
Yeah.
So I
think that's probably all that we can say.
I think that's all we can really say spoiler free.
So,
go ahead and do this. So let's get into spoilers with the thesis statement of this podcast, which is specifically the exorcism. So, in this exorcism, the girl is trying to perform. All right. She begins with the structure of the exorcism laid out by Fitness Brother, right? By Buff Bro.
Yeah.
Father Buff Bro, if you will.
He's not a father, though.
No, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Church leader Buff Bro.
Yeah, youth pastor.
Youth pastor Buff Bro. Yeah, youth pastor Buff Bro.
Yeah, so our main character, Abby, gets a, basically, I don't want to say employs because money is an exchange, but like basically employs a person of faith.
She tries to pay him.
She employs a person of faith who has said that he's been a part of many exorcisms. His dad has done exorcisms.
Yeah.
They did like a assembly at her school about like,
love Jesus workout muscles. Without the power of Jesus, could I be this buff? So it's very 80s wrestler coded.
So our main character Abby and Buff Bro Brother Lemon go and they're trying to exorcise the demon from Abby's friend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so and in doing so, our Buff Bro gets a little shook up, calls it early.
He says he tells...
hold on.
Yeah.
He has a little bit of shakeup, and at first he's like, we gotta stay strong. Look how buff I am. We've got this. And then the demon messes with him basically enough that it sort of breaks him, and he's like, I can't do this alone. I gotta go get my dad, who's like a real priest, who's done this before or whatever. So this guy bounces, and it is pretty heavily implied that bounce, like going out for milk or cigarettes, is complete. Right?
Yeah, he's not coming back.
No, he ain't coming back. So this leaves Abby alone in a house with her friend. She's 15.
Yeah, they're like 15 or 16.
They're like 15, 16.
Yeah.
So it leaves this 15, 16-year-old girl, Abby, all right, in a house with her friend. Oh,
she's at least 16 because she drives.
That's true.
Yeah.
In a house with her friend, chained to the bed, doing standard demon stuff.
Yeah.
Right? And whilst also dealing with the ramifications of the fact that, like, low grade her life is in total disarray. Nobody believes her. She's definitely losing her scholarship to the fancy school that she goes to. And everything's been real shit for like the better part of a year.
And her demon best friend has framed her for everything that has gone wrong.
Oh, for full ass crimes.
Yeah.
Like
and
very messed up full ass crimes.
Heinous things.
Yeah, right. So she is socially pariah. Economically poor. Bloody legally, technically a crime at this point in time.
And also before this, our Abby, this is her best and kind of like only friend.
It's her, like, one true friend from all the way back in the day. So she is trying to perform this exorcism to her friend, right? And her friend is doing, like, a ha-ha-ha demon thing, but then sometimes cracking through, whether it's on the phone or not, and being like, help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Obi-Wan Kenobi is a 16-year-old girl who doesn't really believe in God. Even though she goes to a Christian-ish school. Yeah. Like a mostly Christian school. I guess it's like actually a church school.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, it's actually, because they do have an acting priest. So she don't really believe in God, even though she go to a church school. And the priest just bounced. And it's like, it's up to you, boss. So she, in just a fit of supreme gangsterness, absolutely, you son of a bitch, I'm in this fucking exorcism, and decides to give it a go. Yeah. And she starts doing the church. She's doing the Power of Christ compels. And in the act of Power of Christ compelling, she sees it's not working, so she decides to turn to the things that she knows matters most to her. But
yeah, but okay, hang on. You're getting ahead of yourself here.
Vaguely based on the fact that Brother Lemon, in more than one instance, mentions that, like, the power of faith and the strength of, like, your connection and stuff matter. Yeah. Right? Yeah.
So you're getting a bit ahead of yourself. We need to talk about the demon first. So throughout most of this book, you don't know who the demon is that is possessing Abby's friend. However, by the end, during the exorcism part, we learn what demon it is that is possessing her. And it is the demon Andrus. And Andrus is one of the, like, commanders of the legions of hell. He's a demon from the Ars Goetia. And it is said that he has a smile like fire, eyes like thunder. He has he either appears as having an owl head or a raven head, sometimes a cat head, but very, very infrequently.
Yeah, for this book, it's Owlhead.
And he, sure. It's definitely Owlhead.
He is like a weird owl.
He also will oftentimes appear with the anthropomorphic head and having angel wings. He will ride into battle on a gray wolf. And he makes servants kill their masters, children kill their parents. He is a destroyer demon. That is the thing that he is like.
Servants killing their masters, children killing their parents. This is a breaker of covenants.
Yes, he also escalates quarrels and discord. He has like a super sharp flamey sword too. So nice. He is a, like, very powerful demon. I don't
think that the demonology book I have doesn't have a fucking index.
It does not. Sassy. This demon would be in there as well as its sigil. Yeah.
Okay. I'll have to look him up.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't look it up in the physical book that we have, but I looked it up in the, like, online free version, the internet library
digital demon
book. Yeah. So that is the demon that we are at. So Andrus is like a big dude in terms of, like, demon stuff. So this isn't like
every demon's a fucking,
and they're always
commander of some bullshit or prince of some rings or some shit. Like, they all gotta have, like, a fancy, like a whole fancy ass thing,
so Abby starts out doing the exorcism after the churchy guy leaves by reading his papers and reciting the things that he was saying. And it goes from the very standard, like,
Power of Christ
compels you. Tell me the hour and time of your departure, all this other kind of stuff. And that goes, like, it works, but not well enough.
It goes about as well as you can expect, like, for an abundant lack of better words, atheist or non-believer, inciting the power of, the way that I thought about this very specifically is like, it's like a person who's never picked up a firearm before trying to fight off a horde of zombies. Yeah. you're gonna get, like, the vague direction fine, dog.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, those headshots are fucking not on purpose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like at least the first few. Because, like, you don't know. You've never fired this thing before. You know, the dude who was protecting you basically died on the ground and dropped the gun.
Yeah.
And so she's left picking up a thing she doesn't know what to do with and is having to, like, defend the you know, the place that she's in or whatever the fuck, trying to fight these zombies off. So she has, like, fucking no clue what's going on. At all. Right? She, in multiple instances, is like, I don't really believe in this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, if it helps my friend, I'm willing to give it a shot or whatever.
Yeah.
So, like, it's working because, you know, power of Christ for sure compel. But, like, also, it's kind of not working because, like, she don't know how to wield that Christ. Whose power? What Christ? What are we talking about? You know what I'm saying?
Well, and not just that.
Is it
she's
Jesus?
Also,
like, what's up? You
she's
know?
also, like, not really prepared. Physically.
Not only is she not prepared, she's also
this.
a little bit, I mean, like, she for sure believes Dean up in there.
Oh, yeah. She's absolutely...
But hold on. But also, maybe not Demon. And, like, maybe this chick's just a bitch. And, like, maybe I'm gonna go to super jail for this. Like, a little bit. Like, 1%, maybe this bitch is lying to me and I'm going to super jail sort of shit.
Mm-hmm. But by the time she starts,
I mean, by the time she starts, she's doing that. She has almost no doubt.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, she went into this like, we got to do it, and then she saw like the first few things, and she was like, ah! So she's not like fully locked in, right? She's abandoned. She's in like, she's so fucking grounded, dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to remember, this is like a 16-year-old. Like, you remember being a 16-year-old when you would like, sometimes you do a thing and you're like, ugh, trouble. And sometimes you do a thing and you're just like, I'm purgatory grounded. This is eternal grounded.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, she's like in way over her fucking head with this stuff.
Yeah.
Right? But also, that's how much she cares about this friend.
Yeah.
That she needs to go, like, above and beyond the pale.
Yeah, so,
you know?
Basically, she starts reading Brother Lemon's, like, exorcism thing, and that doesn't...
Notes.
Yeah, his notes, and that doesn't really work.
No.
She enters, basically, the crisis of faith stage that every exorcist has, and I don't mean a crisis of faith in, like, the Lord, but, like, a crisis of faith, like, in herself for being able to complete this.
Yeah.
In
it's
general,
literally the
for
thing
can this
that,
even be done?
It's literally the thing that Brother Lemon was like, yo, dog, this is gonna happen. Keep it high and tight. And then it happens, and this motherfucker keeps it absolutely loose and low.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So the thing that starts to change the tide for her on this is by calling upon the power of the things that her and her best friend Gretchen, the one who's possessed, like their inside jokes and the things that they love
that matter to them.
Yeah.
So she decides, in a fit of fucking chaos wisdom, to invoke.
Yes. So hang on, because I literally transcribed this.
I see that you have notes.
I transcribed this.
This is a real nerd right now.
Yeah. Okay. So she starts off by using a mantra. So she uses a mantra.
Yeah.
And it is "We got the beat." You know, the song. We got the beat.
Yeah.
So she starts repeating over and over again, we got the beat, until she hulks up to the point where she can continue to move past this. And I'm not going to read this excerpt because I want to save some of the beautiful deliciousness bits for you. And also, like, there's some things that, like, as a listener, if you haven't read the book, don't really, you know, they don't line up.
Yeah.
But, like, at one point in time, she says, by the power of Phil Collins, I rebuke you. By the power of Phil Collins, who knows that you coming back to me is against all odds. In his name, I command you to leave the servant of Genesis alone. By the power of Lost Retainers and Jamaica and bad cornrows and fireflies and Madonna, by all these things, I rebuke you. By the power of Geraldine Ferraro, the first lady vice president ever, I rebuke you.
Deep cut.
By the eye of the tiger, she continues like this. In the name of, and then all of these friends, and she causes it to go. So these are all like things that you come across earlier in the book. They are
things that matter to this friendship.
She uses the name of their shared middle school crush.
Yeah.
In this. Yeah. And she uses a bunch of other things in this too. And this is a really wonderful example of something that we often talk about in episodes where it's like, if you believe in that thing, if in your mind Thor from the Marvel universe is the Thor to you,
if your
then
Thor
that's
is
the
like
thing that matters.
Hot Chris Hemsworth, like fine. Right? We too often rely on the structures presented to us for unstructured things. Right? Like, we assume that, like, okay, the example to me that, like, rings the most evident of this is the transubstantiation of the Eucharist in Christian and Catholic churches. Primarily because this has come up in conversation several times recently for me and some friends, right? Where it's like, it's so, like Catholics believe in the transubstantiation, right? For the most part, right? I'm not like fucking everybodying this thing. This is just like the way that we were having this conversation, right? And it sort of came out that like, okay, well, like Catholics for the most part believe in transubstantiation. Whereas like some Christian sects believe that the transubstantiation is like primarily allegorical and it's just a representation of a thing, right? Not like actual magic. TM. Right? But some Christian faiths believe that it's like actual magic TM. Like every time you do Eucharist, little flat cracker and some wine, right? Blood and body of Christ. You like renew your erasure of sin or whatever. Mm-hmm. Right? So like it's one of those like, you can kind of interpret it a bunch of different ways sort of thing, right? And so I think that the like how you want to interpret these things, how you want to perceive your Thor, how you want to like formulate, everybody wants to like I'm gonna make a circle and I gotta put some music on, I'm gonna do like a fucking Gregorian chants or like Enya or some shit, right? That's like chill. But like if you want to do your magic to like Gwar, rock and roll,
or
brother.
T-Swift
or whatever, like that's
or
fine, dog.
K-pop Demon Hunters, like
yeah. No, exactly. Well, and we even talk about this in the way we interpret like tarot and runes and such like that.
Yeah.
Where like sometimes you have a tarot card deck and you're like, I love this deck, but like I don't know, the way that like its book describes the tower or the devil or the high priestess or whatever the fuck is like maybe not in accurate alignment for like how the picture fits. I know you have a couple of decks where you're like the picture feels a little different than what the description is or whatever.
Yeah.
So like do your thing, right? As the practitioner, the like exact formulation is up to you.
Yeah.
Right? And so what caused us to want to have this conversation is the fact that this gal, instead of using power of Christ to compel this demon out, she used power of Phil Collins to compel this demon out.
Yeah.
And like, for an abundant lack of better words, is there much of a difference between the power of Christ and the power of Phil Collins? And or
not
thesis
really.
Statement. Can you use any worshipable thing, anything that has import to you?
I mean, yeah.
In place of standard issue Judeo-Christian Islam and Yahweh powers.
By the power of pumpkin spice latte.
Yeah, by the power of Grayskull, baby. I say that shit
if
all
you
the
love
time.
like if that's a thing that has like the important, it's the level of importance, right? So
and this is where like if I'm gonna be a fucking writer about this right now, and I'm gonna like make sure my magical system makes sense, because if you're listening to this podcast, you've probably read some books where the magic system is like sort of discretionary and not really nailed down. That shit's sometimes annoying. But like, I think that it has to do specifically with the connection.
Yeah.
right? Like, what's important to you? If what's important to you is, like, Coors Light, right? Then by the power of Coors Light.
Yeah, by the power of pumpkin spice.
You know, exactly.
By the power of Phil Collins.
Exactly,
I mean, but also if what's important to you is Jesus, by the power of Jesus.
Yeah, well,
right?
and I think that that's an important detail for the book, is that it's not saying that the power of Jesus doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's not saying like Jesus Christ is like, it's not poo-pooing on like Christianity or something.
Yeah.
Right? It's just implying, whether intentionally or not, that, like, this girl wasn't a Christian, and so she wasn't able to use the power of Jesus.
Well,
so instead
she took
the structure that you learned from, when you say power Christ compels, there's like a lesson in that, right? And she took that lesson from Brother Lemon and decided to apply it to things that mattered to her.
See, I didn't take it that way.
Because she used those things, because those things mattered so much, and she believed in them so hard, right?
Yeah.
It was able to, like, functionally ratify her magic to drive this demon out.
I don't think that it's because she wasn't a Christian, right?
No.
But I'm saying that
I'm saying she wasn't a Christian, and that's why she didn't use the power of Jesus.
And I don't think that that's why either. Right? I don't think that that's why. I think what she did in that moment when she found that the Exorcist guy's notes weren't working for her, the standard script wasn't working. Yeah. I don't think that it had anything to do with faith at all. I think that it had to do with her deciding that, like, if I'm going to get my best friend out of this, I need to tell her basically in a way that's important to her. Right? So, like, and it's not that Phil Collins is more important to her than Jesus. It's that their connection together, their shared joke about Phil Collins was more important. Like, for instance, if I were to take this out of their situation and drop it into ours, we had just talked about how World War Z was really important to us, right? I would say by the power of Max Brooks and World War Z. It's not because Max Brooks or World War Z is more important to me than Jesus, but it's about our shared connection, which is not just rallying the power through a chaos magic sense to raise the energy, so to speak, but also to rally you on the inside to push the evil spirit out. It basically
I would argue that that's still the same chaos magic thing.
I agree that that's still chaos magic. But I don't think it has anything to do with what you don't believe, but I think that it has to do with the shared connection between you, which in effect is the thing that you believe. But at no point do I ever think that they thought to themselves, like, Madonna is better than Jesus.
Well, okay.
Right?
So, I understand what you're saying. What I categorically disagree with is the concept that belief or import makes something more or less than. Right? So, like, I'm not saying that she thinks that Madonna is more important than Jesus. Okay? But Madonna is more important to her than Jesus.
I agree with that in this situation.
And even more specifically, right? Because she does talk about the fact that she doesn't really believe in this stuff.
Yeah.
The churchy stuff. Right? The Christian stuff. So I think for sure that's part of it. But I also think that a large proportion of it isn't like that she believes in Madonna more, but it's that Madonna means more to her. Right? Yeah. And I think that when she switched from, like, power of Christ compels, this isn't working, what do I need to reach out to? She reached out to a thing, obviously, that unifies the two of them. Right? So, like, sort of by their powers combined, but also because she's trying to bring her friend back from the brink.
Yeah.
So she's going to latch onto something that has, like, equal meaning to both of them. Something that they share. Right? But I also think that there's a functional understanding of the fact that, like, she can't invoke the power of Jesus. Not because she doesn't believe, that's sort of like a little too simple an answer, but that she, like, that doesn't matter. To her, like, the church and shit is some shit you have to do, but it's, like, not real to her, right? Whereas, like, Madonna, or like that crush they had in 5th grade or whatever, right? Or Phil Collins or whatever the fuck, or their friends, are like real things that she has connection to that can, whether actively aware of or passively aware of, and in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter. Chaos magic. It doesn't matter if it's active or passive. Right? She recognizes that these things are larger in life than her, right? So, like, for Brother Lemon, the things that were larger than life for him were his faith in Jesus.
Yeah.
All right. Lowest. His faith in Jesus. We're gonna, like, top 3 this shit. His faith in Jesus, number 3, right? His physicality, his muscles.
Yeah.
Number 2, and his father, number 1.
Yeah.
Right? And you see the failing towards these structures of faith, which are supports, right, in him as he fails out of this. First, he tries to just use his faith of Jesus, right? And when that fails him and it pushes him out of the room and his exhaustion and things like that, he begins to switch his language away from faith in Jesus into faith in his physicality. I could not be so strong if it weren't for my faith in Jesus. But this is a faith in muscle mass, in gains, over the Lord.
Yeah.
Right? So he begins to rely on that, and when that fails him still, right, he immediately defaults back to relying on his father. And, I mean, like, whatever, this dude's like 20. Like, everybody still has, well, not everybody, but a large number of people still have this sort of, like, parental faith structure system, especially when their parents are still alive and weren't assholes, whereon they know that they can rely on their parents. So, like, if anything goes wrong, I don't have to worry. I can just call dad, you know, or whatever the fuck. And that's literally what this guy does, is like, this is going wrong. My faith isn't strong enough. My muscles aren't powerful enough. I don't know what to do. I'm going to go to dad. The fact that he runs away entirely, being a testament of cowardice, is like, wild, brother.
Yeah.
But whatever, right? So, I think that I think it's subconsciously, she recognized this detail. Maybe not with such active discussion, right? But I think that she recognized this, and when she first looked at his papers and said, like, oh my God, okay. His notes say, don't forget to tap the cross. You know, like, these notes are, like, a little sad.
Yeah.
And, like, she put her faith in a guy who, like, for sure has never done this before. Ugh!
Yeah.
The police are on their way, and my friend is chained to a bed. This is a lot. You know, she's 16, sort of a thing, right? Like, she's not prepared for these sort of things. It honestly, like any 16-year-old wouldn't be. But I think that when she pushed the, like, power of Christ compels stuff, she saw that this wasn't succeeding. And so she leaned back on things that she knew she could trust.
Yeah.
She knew she could trust memories of dreads or tiny braids or whatever the heck in Jamaica. Yeah. Right? She knew she could trust that Phil Collins song was something they used to sing every single day for a whole fucking summer.
Yeah.
In the car ride to and from whatever. Yeah. You know? So she fell back on, whether purposefully or accidentally, in the grand scheme of things, doesn't matter. She fell back on the things that mattered to her.
Yeah.
With this person in regard.
Yeah.
For sure. But the things that mattered to her, the fact that the things that mattered to her, most especially, involved this friend, I think has more to do with her love of this friend. The fact that this is, like, the one person, singularly, that she needs.
Yeah.
Right? That has supported her through all of it. That has been there and not judged. She's worn the same jeans twice in a week or whatever the fuck, you know? Like all these like little nips that you, like she mentions, but clearly like it's never like Brenda made fun of my pants, but she talks about these like little things that makes her question herself. You know, not having the same money as all of her classmates. Yeah. You know, or power or whatever. And like, you know, why...
It's her one safe space.
Yeah. This person represents the safety, right? And so, of course, the things that she has the most connection to, the most faith in, would be things that also this person matters to. Yeah. You know? Like, if it was that, like, volleyball chick... or basketball, whatever fucking sport it was. I think it was volleyball though. There would be less connection there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but I think that she understood that what mattered wasn't like Bill. You know, it wasn't like some specific fucking guy. Yeah. Right? In this particular instance, Jesus, but like, you know what I mean? Right? But it's something that matters at all. Right? Sort of like love wins. Yeah. Sort of shit. You know what I mean? But
in this case, it was platonic love and not romantic love.
Yeah. Yeah. You said earlier that like, oh, like it never really felt like these two were trying to like, ooh, will they do a smooch or whatever? Like, yeah. Not at all, dog. Yeah. Right? They're just like friends or whatever the fuck. Yeah. You know? But I for sure, I think that it's one of those things where, and the reason why we wanted to talk about this is because like, you're like, why do you think that you have to do, I don't know, whatever, Hellenistic gods, Norse gods, Egyptian gods, Judeo-Christian god? Why do you think you need to do that shit? And not like hollaback girls. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, if that matters the most to you, if you are, in fact, a hollaback girl. Yeah. Doing,
hollaback things.
I was trying to think of what that specific Japanese style is. Dekora, thank you. I was like, I know it's not fucking Kyaru, but what is it's like what is the one with more stuff in hindsight, more decorations? It's right there. Yeah. But Dekora, yeah. Like if you're fucking Dekora and like hollaback girl fucking absolutely clapped up your mind or whatever the fuck, like do your magic, fucking make your circle protection hollaback girls only. Yeah. Or whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, who's to say no to that? Yeah. Right? And I think that, like, the thing that, like, makes this such an interesting conversation is like, less the fine details of the book, even though that's, like, the thing that we've been primarily talking about thus far. But it's the, like, concept that, like, your craft, your magic, your spells don't necessarily need to be, like, some like faith specific nonsense. Yeah. Right? This is very American Gods. Yeah. Right? It's very what you call it, where like your faith gives it structure. Oh my god, what is that? What is the word for that? The more powerful a thing is based entirely on the amount of faith that things have in it.
I mean, we just talk about it as the American Gods thing.
Yeah, no, there's like a very specific term for this.
But like, yeah, sure, whatever.
You know? Yeah, whatever. But like, and so it's one of those things where like and of course like the end of this book or whatever. But like it made me very interested in the concept, both as like a chaos practitioner. The like fact that this lady was just like, I'm gonna lock in chaos style. Don't question it. Phil Collins. And gets it, and it works, which is gangster. Yeah. Right? But also, a little bit, and this is for you guys out there, leave a comment, and for you right here, you have to do it live. Good luck. What would you use?
I mean, it depends.
If you're doing a bloody exorcism, you're exorcising somebody, exily, as it were, right? What do you call it out to?
I mean, it depends on the person.
I know that it depends on the person, but like ignore the person dependent part.
Well, like the stuff what that I would call out
like
to...
you would like if you had to choose a song, we're gonna make this even simpler to dial it in. Okay, it doesn't matter who the person is. You have to choose a song to power a Christ.
I mean, I guess that's song? The same.
What do you power a song in?
As like if you have to, whatever that thing was that we talked about a couple of years ago, like what's your song that would like gear you up? Like you have to fight a battle and like it's pretty confident that you're not going to win, but like what are you going to psych yourself up by listening to?
Sure, but there's a little bit of a difference because it's not necessarily just about psyching yourself up. It's also about shit that like matters to you. You know? Yeah. Are you again, because I already mentioned Hollaback Girls. That was also a random pull, by the way. That's RNG, baby. How you doing? I haven't thought about that song or
Gwen Stefani.
Thank you, man. I was like Gwen something, and all I could think is If Paltrow, and that's not the same person.
Not the same person at all.
Gwen Stefani. I haven't thought of Gwen Stefani in like an inordinately long amount of time.
Yeah. So okay, the problem.
So, but like, what song are you gonna try and assume the power of to fight demons? Let's pretend that it's not exorcism and there's just like knock 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 demons at the door. What song are you using to empower your demon fight?
See, the problem with this is
you're way overthinking this. It's very simple.
Okay, well, what is yours?
It's just what song are you gonna do to fight a demon?
See, it's not that easy for me though. Right? Like, okay, so...
Are you worried about what demon it is?
No, not at all. No, not at all. That's just not the way that I think about this stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So, for me, that has to do with, like, if I can, like, who is it? But also, like, if it's just a general thing, it has to do with, like, what's on my mind lately. Okay. Right? A subconscious thing. So one of the things...
let's refine the question.
Hold on. I'm not done. So like one of the things that I do is I allow my subconscious to just sort of like random pull stuff for me. So sure. Like this is the best exemplified when we go to a restaurant. I'm looking at the menu and it's like, oh, what are you going to get? If I don't already like 100% have something locked in, like, I don't know what I'm going to get. I'll like look at a couple things and be like, oh, maybe I should get this. Maybe I should get that. Maybe I should get this, you know, maybe I should get the salmon. Maybe I should get the chicken. Maybe I should get the steak. And then I don't actually at all know what I'm going to get until the very moment that the wait staff comes over and asks me what my order is. My mouth opens and then I just say the thing. I'm not even thinking about it. It just comes out of my mouth and that's the thing that I want. Mm-hmm. So this really applies to that too.
Sure, no,
so it has to do with the moment in time.
Hold on, but that doesn't matter because the moment in time is now, right? I understand that it's going to change.
I mean,
everything
then it has
changes.
to do with the thing that I'm the most into at that moment.
Sure,
like the first thing that pops into my head.
You just heard a knock at the door.
Yeah, the first thing that pops into my head.
Hey, guess what? Demon time.
Yeah, first thing that pops into my head is like Huntrix Golden.
All right, that's perfectly fucking fine, dog.
But that's not going to be necessarily the same thing 5 minutes from now.
Oh, who gives a shit?
Or
we're only talking about right now. We don't give a shit about situational futures.
Do you look at that? Would you be doing that differently? Like, do you have
relative to time?
Yeah, like
yeah. Listen, everybody does things differently relative to time.
Yeah, no. I mean, would you like? How would you choose your demon
in the moment
song? Yeah.
Oh, I'm not really choosing. Things just happen, bro.
See, that's what I was just saying. Things just happen.
I know.
So because I answered that, now you have to also.
Because you said Huntrix Golden.
Yeah.
Almost forgot what that was called for a second there. I don't know, man. Right now, honest to God, would probably be
not just like a random song. What song would you choose?
To
fight a demon
to fight the demon right now? No. I know. I know. It's probably going to be either best song in the world or specifically Pick a Destiny from Tenacious D. And the only reason why is because, like, literally a week ago, I watched a man watch the entire Tenacious D Pick a Destiny movie whilst playing one of them robot guitars. What's that called? Guitar Hero guitars?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, on TikTok. And I was like, first of all, that's amazing. I didn't know that was a thing that you could do. In fact, everybody I've talked to did not know that was a thing that you could do. And secondly, I forgot how much I love Tenacious D, because I haven't listened to Tenacious D in a little while.
Yeah.
And that, like, absolutely fired me into listening to that shit more.
Yeah. So,
like, probably that right now. Like, probably, like, best song in the world, just because that's, like, one of my favorite Tenacious D songs. Or, like, Pick a Destiny, right? You know, maybe Metal. Because that's also a banger Pick a Destiny song. But at the same time, right, if we're doing demon stuff simply because I can move significantly faster than you, and I'm getting salt, and you throw on Golden on the fucking TV for the power.
Yeah.
There's a non-zero chance I can unlock that entire Golden fucking dance routine just out of the back of the dome. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like I completely agree that it's, like, entirely dependent on, like, space and time or whatever the fuck. But, like, right now, like, I don't know, probably Tenacious D, whatever the fuck is, like, coming to me when I do it. That's why I said, like, probably Pick a Destiny, or the Metal, or, like, or like Greatest Song in the World. But also, I'm choosing Greatest Song in the World and the Metal because the connotations in Greatest Song in the World is literally it's so good that it defeats a demon, which is sort of the fucking TLDR of what we're trying to do.
Well,
right?
I mean,
so I'm double dipping. No. I'm not saying that Golden isn't doing that.
Like the queen.
Yeah, no.
You're stepping into your own power.
I completely agree. Yeah, the same thing when I was just like as I asked the question, my first thought was Tenacious D. And then as soon as I thought Tenacious D, I was like, it's either Greatest Song in the World or the Metal. Because Greatest Song in the World is literally about fighting demons. And the Metal, like, one of the main lines is nobody can defeat the Metal. The Metal will smite you down with a big shsploos. Right? The whole song is about fighting stuff. Specifically other forms of music, but who gives a shit? Fuck this demon, nobody can defeat the Metal. Yeah. Right? In this instance, representation of the Metal. So my brain immediately went to, like, problem solve within the super category of Tenacious D. Right? Right? You know, I'm not trying to do Tenacious D and do, like, Lee or, like, fucking what's that, Sasquatch or some shit. Like, get the fuck out of here, you know. but like Rise of the Phoenix, although, like, maybe Rise of the Phoenix if I'm, like, getting 3 songs deep in a playlist, like, that shit's its own fucking thing. But yeah, I would probably go with that, but that's because, like, I'm a huge Tenacious D fan, right? Yeah. I've seen them live several times, right? And it's the sort of, like, music and movie that no matter what's going on, if I'm like, oh, I'll put this on, and I put it on, I'm immediately, like, locked in. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, like, that shit. I would say the same thing, like, probably a week ago, it would have been, like, Numb, or Paper Cut, or...
Like Linkin Park?
Yeah. Huh. Okay. Yeah, Linkin Park came up a bunch on my TikTok, like a bunch of Linkin Park, AMVs, anime music videos, with, like, Paper Cut and, like, Numb and shit like that. Yeah. And so I was like, oh shit, I haven't listened to these guys in a little while. So I, like, literally did dishes watching, like, anime fight sequences with just, like, Linkin Park music. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it just depends. Have I thought in the last, like, 30 minutes about Solo Leveling? Then it's that fucking aria. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because that aria, like, gives you the fire. Yeah. Yeah. You know? Yeah. So, like, no, I totally agree that it's, like, you know, temporally circumspect. Yeah. Or whatever the fuck. But, like...
Well, I think that it's not
I'm gonna call on the power of Tenacious D.
Yeah, it's not just, like, temporarily determinated, but it's also, like, situationally, which is really more than, which really incorporates the temporarily, right? Because if it's about a specific person, then it's about them and also the time in which you're doing it.
And I think that I think that, like, the thing that made it so interesting to me specifically is that, like, there's a greater conversation that we as practitioners all should have internally about, like, why not call on, for me in a specific instance, right? Why not call on the power of Tenacious D, the power of the Tanakh?
Yeah, the power of Phil Collins.
Why not call on the power of Phil Collins? Well, you're just doing regular ritual. It doesn't need to be, I know that in the book it's like this like big life or death, bloody situation or whatever the fuck. But like if you're pulling tarot and you want to call on the power of fucking Joel McHale.
Yeah.
Right? Who cares?
Yeah.
Or you're trying to get at like business advice and you call on the power of some business person that you care about. I literally can't think of this fucking single one.
I mean, the first thing that popped into my head was Wolf of Wall Street because
the movie, yeah.
Right, like
call on the power of the movie Wolf on Wall Street, right?
Yeah,
like whatever. It doesn't need
like if you're trying to be a ruthless business person, you're like, I call upon the power of whatever the guy's name is from
every shitty billionaire.
Yeah, right. From American Psycho.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Exactly. So like, I think that like sort of the lesson the book presents, the sort of opportunity, I think is a better way to put it. The opportunity the book presents is a internal or personal meta-analysis of things that matter to you that you could equally call upon.
Yeah.
For power.
Yeah.
When you're doing a thing, right? If you want to call upon specifically that scene where at the beginning of Predator where those two buff arms do like a nice hand grab, you son of a bitch, I'm in, to circle protect this motherfucking spell, that shit seems gangster. There's a bunch of memes about it. And also, if I'm going to be like a little fucking in the weeds mysticism about this shit, like, if you're calling upon that snail you saw 4 days ago in your fucking garden, okay, that's really specific and weird, right?
But like, if that snail had a really big impact on you,
if it's not a big impact on you, it matters. I'm not saying that it doesn't, right? But like, if you call on the power of Phil Collins, right?
Yeah.
From a purely mystical standpoint, there are a bunch of people who worship at the altar of Phil Collins.
Yeah.
They listen to his music. They pay veneration by buying his albums. When they're having a down day, their music lifts them, right?
Yeah.
Which is a prayer in and of itself, right? So calling upon Phil Collins, it's not that Phil Collins, grand wizard, super powerful mage, although maybe we're learning that he could be.
Yeah.
But like the egregore of Phil Collins, the like cultural touchstone of Phil Collins in this instance, does retain a fair amount of power.
Yeah.
Right? Simply by the act of other people being into it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So, like, calling on Tenacious D, calling on K-pop demon hunters in a time of need, or because you want to fucking do tarot or, like, a spell or whatever the fuck, totally makes sense. Because it's that thing that people talk about when, like, art becomes more than just art. When is a film a cult classic? Nobody makes a cult classic on purpose.
Yeah.
Right? They can make things that ruminate on cult classicism. They can make things that remind or otherwisely represent, or for them is the like cult classic that they've always wanted to see or whatever, right? But like what makes cult classics is the fact that so many people resonated with it.
Yeah.
Even though it didn't do as well.
Yeah.
So like calling on the five elements of the fifth element.
Like there's a space in their mind that's sort of like set up as an altar to that particular movie, right? Like there's a reason why Rocky Horror Picture Show is still a cult classic.
Yeah.
after all of these years.
Yeah.
That's because for so many people, this movie holds such a sway that there is a small or large altar in that person's mind space to that movie in there. It lives rent-free in their head.
Yeah.
But why... But really, when we're talking about something living rent free in your head, isn't that really like building an altar space to dedicate time to in your head? Whatever size that altar space is up to the individual. But really, that's what it is.
Even if it's not so profound as the concept of the structure of an altar, it's just a thing that matters to you, right? If a room full of 1,000 people chanting some bullshit can make an egregore, then 10,000 people vaguely having weird emotions after watching fucking Deadpool the first movie is exactly as powerful, right? For what it's worth, also, technically speaking, Deadpool talks about this.
Yeah.
Like the comic books Deadpool, not the movie. The movie Deadpool glances it. But the comic books Deadpool talk about the fact that, like, story, as it becomes more important, and how it affects other people who write other stories, empowers previous stories. This is exemplified in the Deadpool Killustrated run of comics, where, like, he knows he can't die, and he knows he can't, like, kill the writers of his comic because he would always persist. So he decides to go back and kill, like, the concept of adventure and the concept of strength. And he's, like, killing Tom Sawyer and, like, Moby Dick and shit like that. Like, classics. Destroying those stories in order to eradicate the concept of his existence in order to actually try and end his existence.
Yeah.
Right? So Deadpool's on right now on the TV, which is why I brought that up. But also wildly somehow fits fantastically in this particular situation.
Yeah.
Right? Those things that have transcended the actual thing, the production, right? And have turned into something more. It's like the what's his name helicopter spin around shot. You know, he did all the Transformers movies.
Oh, Michael Bay.
It's like the Michael Bay helicopter spin around shot.
Yeah.
You know? It's like at a certain threshold, it transcends being like just some bullshit that Michael Bay does.
Yeah.
And it becomes part of like the very concept of doing those types of movies.
Yeah.
Right? So it becomes larger than life, as it were, right? And this is where a cult classic is a movie that's become larger than life. Right?
Yeah.
When you go and watch, or even if you're watching it at home, you're doing Dr. Frankenfurter Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah.
Right? Like even if you're seeing it in your house, you know about all the callback lines, and you know about bread and the cards and the clackers, and you see all the like, oh, what about this part here, and the absurdity and the history and the connection, and maybe you remember that your mom took you to see it, or that her and her friends used to sing that song when you were a kid, or whatever the heck, around whatever, you know, Halloween season or whatever, right? So it becomes this thing where it's like larger than life, and those propagate down through time.
Yeah.
Right? And like, you know, that's when it starts having power. How many people on May 4th say, "May the 4th be with you"?
Yeah.
Right? How many people have tattoos about that? How many people, like a little bit, maybe the Force kind of makes sense? You know, or how many people watch those movies all the time? Or like the extended edition Lord of the Rings cuts.
Yeah.
How many people do we know that, and do you know, that like go through once a year? Hey, it's Lord of the Rings time because it's soup season. Or it's Lord of the Rings time because it's Bilbo's birthday. Or it's Lord of the Rings time because like, my boss is an asshole and I feel like shit and I need just like a break. And this weekend, I'm just going to fucking sit here and watch 3 movies that total 400 hours.
Yeah.
You know, or whatever. And the whole time you're locked in and you're remembering the lines, and you remember the first time you saw it. You remember that one time you had your boyfriend over and you watched it and he was being a jackass or whatever. And so all of these things sort of become prayers. They become part of this like connective consciousness. That means that when you like summon the power of the ring, terrible example, Gimli, right? Gimli, is that his name?
Yeah.
Gimli and his love for that elf,
Yeah.
Right? It has more than just you and your emotions attached to it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So, like, it kind of makes sense in a weird way to, like, use these, like, cultural touchstones, right, as, like, parts of your magical practice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what, like, made me want to talk about this as a pub chat is, like, at what point is something a thing that, like, you and your friends do that, like, means so much to you?
Yeah.
And also, what are things, since you're thinking in this space, what are things that used to matter that maybe don't matter so much? Right? What are those inside jokes? What are those stories? What is that song that you guys used to misquote? Or like a weird handshake high five thing you guys used to do because one time you fucked it up and it was funny.
Or like your favorite lunch spot.
Yeah. Or a particular location or things like that. Like, humans already have a nature towards, like, using these things in times of turmoil. Again, like, to bring back to the extended edition Lord of the Rings. Like, if you're in a real bad, stressed out place, you're going to be like, I just want to watch Lord of the fucking Rings, man.
Yeah.
Or whatever your, like, comfort movie is. Everybody's got that, like, comfort movie.
Yeah.
Right? Is not watching that comfort movie to, like, decompress and relax because your life's been stressful, is that not just magic?
Yeah.
Right? In maybe not so many words, but magic nonetheless. So, like, I think we have a lot of examples around us of that already occurring and us individually already doing that. So, like, why not include it in a larger portion of your magical practice?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it doesn't have to be, Phil Collins every time.
Yeah.
It's going to be whatever fits in that moment.
Yeah.
Maybe you just saw a commercial, like a commercial just came out, Boys from Scrubs.
Yeah.
Right? I used to watch Scrubs like every fucking day. I love Scrubs.
Yeah.
It's so good. Last season, maybe not so much. It's so good.
Yeah.
Jesus. Right? So, like, if I'm in a place where I'm trying to do some shit, right? Some magical ass shit, and I want to call upon the power of the Boys from Scrubs, tain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Even though 5 minutes ago I would have never thought about that because the commercial hadn't played yet.
Yeah.
Right? Because your magic is temporal. Right? You exist in a moment in time. So, like, it only matters as you're able to perceive it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
So, like, it's an interesting concept that I think could lead to a improvement in, as well as, like, sort of tension release of practice.
Yeah.
Because you don't always got to be like, I'd always talk to Hecate only. Oops, all Hecate. Oops, all Thor. Right? It could also be like sometimes Thor, but like also sometimes Doctor Strange or like Barney or fucking whatever matters to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Bob Ross.
Yeah,
Mr.
exactly.
Rogers.
Mr. Rogers. Big Bird.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because each of them has like a concept that resonates, well, at least for me anyway. Like a core piece of you is resonates through that.
Sure,
so
of course.
like,
well, you
so like kindness to strangers and generally being an upstanding person, that's like the power
it's
of
like
Mr.
the thing
Rogers.
that they talk about. Yeah,
like embracing my art and not being judgy about it, and also like
happy little trees.
caring for animals, like especially like obviously like the animals that we choose to have as pets, but like the animals that just exist out there, like that's the power of Bob Ross.
Yeah.
Also having fantastically maybe, fluffy hair. Also the power of Bob Ross.
And maybe for you, it's not the power of Bob Ross, it's the power of that Australian guy. Steve Irwin.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe it's the power of Steve Irwin. Or maybe it's the power of Werner Herzog. Right? Is that his name, Werner Herzog? From the documentaries, because you watch a bunch of them BBC documentaries.
Man, I love those BBC documentaries.
Right?
Too.
Exactly. So it doesn't got to be the same for everybody, but it's like the things that matter most to you.
The Penguin one was on yesterday, and boy, I love that Penguin one. Penguins are so cute. Little feet. They just do a little waddle.
They can be, yes.
It's adorable. I love it.
Weird fucking birds.
Yeah, I like birds.
Smooth birds.
I wonder what it would feel like to pet a penguin.
I assume quite smooth. You see
You
the way
think
they
so?
move through the water? Yeah. Forwards, like in the direction of Fev.
Yeah.
Smooth.
Oh yeah, for sure. You wouldn't want to pet them.
You pet them opposite.
That's just rude.
Yeah, that's unkind.
That's just
hateful.
rude.
That's hateful.
Yeah, but like I don't know. Are their feathers like super fluffy and like downy, or are they more
Well, it's
like
downy
spiny?
underneath and then like waxy on the top.
Yeah. So I wonder what it would be like to pet a penguin. Have any of you petted a penguin
If you've pet
out
a penguin,
there?
let us know.
Please tell me.
Yeah. The interesting one for me is sharks. Because their skin is incredibly rough.
Yeah, it's like sandpaper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to pet a shark. Yeah.
I wonder if
I'm absolutely that person that they're like, what are these idiots going into shark cages trying to touch sharks? And I'm like, I'm that idiot, but I don't need the cage.
I wonder if it's like petting a manta ray. I wonder if it feels similar.
I think they're rough.
Because I've pet a manta ray several times
at the aquariums.
But like I've never pet a shark.
I think a shark is like way rougher.
I wonder
I've
if
pet like those little stripy sand sharks.
Yeah,
they have those at aquariums sometimes. You can pet those. You can touch those.
I wonder if petting a penguin would be like, sometimes it lets you like pet those sea cucumbers.
Sure.
I wonder if it would be like that.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Let us know if you pet a penguin. What does it feel like?
Do you have a penguin that I could pet?
Oh shit, dog sharing is caring. Could you do that maybe?
Yeah.
Perhaps?
Do you have a hookup for me to pet a penguin?
Penguin-based hookup?
Yeah.
That'd be tight. That'd be very tight.
Penguins are like, people are always like, oh, my spirit animal. I don't really have like a spirit animal per se.
Sure.
But like, I've always been fascinated by how like silly and adorable penguins are.
Yeah.
So like penguins are like up there for me.
Yeah.
And like over the last couple of years, like bears have risen up because I think often about like the concept of like how the word bear means like basically like big scary animal. We don't know what the original word for bear is, but bears were so terrifying that we didn't want to invoke them by saying like what their actual like
it's entirely fair
like government name basically was.
Yeah.
So I think about that.
We just decided not to dead name bears so hard that we forgot their real name.
Yeah, like I think about that often. So like I have become to love bears more and more, but also like a couple of years ago, I learned about Fat Bear Week, and every year during the fall,
real weird
I am like Fat Bear Week. Let's go! I was invested this year. So, like, yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
That honestly would lead into a conversation about. I would need to describe to you what a bankai is, but we're gonna have to do a pub chat about
spirit animals.
About bankai. So spirit animals too limiting. Bankai's a little bit broader. We're not having this conversation right now. I'm gonna hold this one back.
Are you ready for a double episode, guys?
We're not having. That's not happening. We're not doing this. Anyway, that's for another pub chat. Hold your butt. But yeah, so I guess what if a demon knocked on your door and you had to fight it? What song would you put on? Comment below with that.
Yeah.
If you have an idea for a pub chat, or anything like that, comment below. You can join our Patreon and have a significantly more direct access to us and like hang out and shit like that. This book is amazing. Highly recommend. Honestly, we didn't really spoil very much anyway.
I tried to spoil the very minimum because the stuff I was reading from is like the climax of the book. So...
I mean, it's the climax of the book, but like also, like, let's be real, right? You got to read a book that's like, here's a book about teens and my friend's exorcism.
Yeah,
and you're like, and it failed, and then we all died. What book is that? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like if you're reading my friend's exorcism, you recognize that, like, in that story, they got exorcised. Right?
I mean, there are some stories where stuff ends,
like, oops, they're all dead. Yeah, no, I know. It's just unlikely.
But yeah, for the most part, that's not what's happening.
So that's this book. Read this book. This is our idea of, like, I'm thinking of this as, like, almost, like, social egregore magic, almost. It's like socio-chaos magic.
Yeah, socio-chaos magic. Ooh.
You know what I mean?
boy, do I love that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That probably makes sense. So I'm thinking of it as like socio-chaos magic and like how you can or cannot use that. For what it's worth, it is a thing that I already do to a small extent.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But this book made me want to do like more of it or whatever. But yeah. I don't think I have anything else to say on this. Unless I'm gonna wax forever about
no, please don't wax.
about a bunch of other socio.
I mean, you
magics.
can wax to me forever,
yeah,
but
we don't need this.
Give
to go
them
any
a
longer.
break.
We don't need to go any longer.
I signed up for this. I don't know if
do
you did.
have more to say about the concept this book presents to you as a change in the way that you perform magic?
Not really. Okay, like yes, but no, right? I don't have as much to say, right? But like this book, aside from the like feels that this gives me, like, it's not every piece of media, not just books, but like movies and TV shows and stuff that I consume that like feels like it alters a core piece of my personality or is like a puzzle piece that's finally being like slotted into place. Like I definitely felt like a puzzle piece was being slotted into place. Like this changed my outlook on things, but not so much in like a really like groundbreaking way where you're like, wow, this was like a big shift mentally.
Yeah.
But it felt like it did shift the way that I thought about these things because it validated a lot of the stuff that I had already been like walking in the same direction of. Like it fits into place perfectly because it's something that has already been there and is just a refinement to the idea that I already have, as opposed to a brand new idea opening the door.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
I think for sure this book and for what it's worth, I think a little bit less for me than for you, but I think still for sure this book falls in the category of books that you read that like just sort of change the way you interact with reality.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I can name several books. This is again, we're not doing this now. Several books that sort of have that same impact on me.
That would be a really great episode.
It's a great, write it down. She's going to write it down.
I'm going to write it down.
She's
Not right now, but later I'm going to write it down. Please remind me to write it down.
She'll write it down right now. Yeah. So I think that this book sort of highlighted an interesting way to approach magic, and I appreciate that greatly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
Big same.
Well, and I mean, this was one of those, once we got to that point, we were both just like,
yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, whatever. Read this book and then let us know what you think. And also, what song are you using to fight demons? Either way, I've been John Norgrove. This has been Julie Norgrove. This has been The Horn.
And Cauldron.
Podcast. Pub Chat Edition. My glass is empty. Shout out to Corbel. We were drinking Corbel Natural Champagne today. And shout out to our patrons. You guys are awesome, and you keep us doing this stuff, which is also awesome. You can join our Patreon. Links are going to be wherever links are. Speaking of links, don't forget to like this video, comment, share, subscribe, bop it, twist it, all the fucking things you're supposed to do those things. And we will catch you guys next time for more mystical, magical mayhem. Stay magical, folks.
Yeah, and don't forget, if you have any ideas or requests for shows, please hit us up on our socials or in the description for this YouTube video. Comments. In the comments for this YouTube video, do the thing.
Or log in and alter our description. Make it weird.
Yeah. Also, feed the algorithm, please. If you cannot afford to support us on Patreon, the best way to support us for free is by liking and putting a comment on this video, regardless of how silly it is. I look forward to doing some more research-based episodes in the upcoming future, so I'm definitely looking for some topic ideas from y'all, the big y'all. And until then, don't forget, breathe in self-confidence and breathe out self-doubt.